The strongman of Colombia, Coldeportes, to give them their full title. How strong a strongman is he? Well, loitering at the back. Does he have plans? In front of him, Boivin. At the front, Didier, who missed a few turns a little while ago, just perhaps trying to get his legs back for the climb to come. Happy enough to contribute as the gradient just starts to rise a little bit. And Krikvanitsa looms in the distance for the riders. The finishing town, which they will see on one occasion. Krikvanitsa is a pet-friendly destination. And indeed, the accommodation in plenty of the hotels and apartments around here very much welcomes dogs. So we all appreciate that. And the dog beach in the small harbour is one of the best dog beaches in all of Croatia. The first dog beach bar that offers beer, ice cream, cakes and teas for your dogs. Beer, ice cream? And any representatives of the RSPCA are listening now, please don't. I was just reading that out. Back at the peloton. The same man from Holowesko Citadel, Dalheim, has managed to dispense with the bottles. He's distributed those to his teammates, but languishing and loitering in the danger zone there. Now the gap sitting at just a smidge over a minute. As the group up front are into this climb, into the difficulty, the peloton charge into it, and they are taking huge chunks out of the gap. A lot of riders will be feeling nervous about this. Didier amongst them, I think. Brajkovic wants to take on some sustenance, coming towards the back end, and there you get the detail. It's got an average incline of just under 5%. It's over 5,000 meters of climb. Well, not ascending climb, if you understand, but we've got a 5.3 kilometer climb.
Hard enough, eh? 4.7%, 5.3 kilometers in length. So
for a Cat 3 and a week-long 1HC stage race at that level, it's actually, I mean, a lot of races that would have that as a Cat 1 or a Cat 2.
Exactly. It's, you know, it's that was a brutal climb yesterday. There'll be a lot of tired legs, but it's enough. It's a racing climb at that sort of percentage, and you know, everybody will know this. And you know, Aqua Blue Sport are up there looking after Pearson, and now we see Astana coming up. They've got a rider in the breakaway, but they've also got the best young rider in the white jersey sitting nestled 3 back from the Astana riders in the blue. But this is going to be a hard enough climb, and expecting some attacks, especially from the teams that have already ridden, like Gazprom and Caja Rural. They can't do all this work and then just sit back in this climb.
Ovsian on the front, the Polish rider with the CCC Sprandi Polkowice squad has gone to the front to set the agenda. He'll be a little bit nervous. When is the attack going to come? The 28-year-old Pole, second on GC in the Tour of Langkawi this year, so he can climb, because that's a race that contains plenty of arduous difficulties, and indeed some plenty long ones as well. So second overall in that race, coming with good form as well, because Langkawi finished just at the end of March, not so long ago. Gap down to 50 seconds. Aqua Blue massed at the front, now replaced by the altogether, well, the sky blue of Astana. Colombian squad moving into position as well. Colombian team. 8th overall is their best placed rider. That was Ruben Acosta. Superb performance from him yesterday. Sits 2 minutes and 52 seconds down, so protecting his situation on overall general classification, perhaps looking for an opportunity as well. Bahrain Merida moving up on the left-hand side. Riders who've done their work, and there's been superb work from Justin Owen of the Caja Rural squad. He's just slipped out of shot there. He can be proud of the effort he's made. So too Roman Maiken of the Gazprom Rusvelo squad.
I think Barry and Merida need to take control of this, because it's kind of bunching up. There are a lot of teams coming towards the front, and the last thing they want is you know, attacks in this race to split up and danger riders go up the road. Still 25 kilometers to go. This group are only just in the distance, and the climb 42 seconds, it's foreshortened. You'll be able to kind of see them, see the cars behind. In fact, most of the cars will be taking out that gap, so they know they're coming back. So I think Barry and Merida, I think, have to take control of the race again. They've kind of sat back, allowing other teams to do it. They are expecting attacks, and I think now is the time. Take hold of the race again and try and nullify any of these attacks that are expected to come in this climb.
Down to 6 up front, so we've lost one of the riders. I think could well have been Boivin, but wait to confirm that. These riders up front are not going to be a factor for too much longer, because it's a severely pared down group that's chasing them behind, but it's the strong men, the strong climbers who are showing their ability. How many of these this group are capable of a sprint finish? And the loss of Giacomo Nizzolo yesterday, John Murphy, and to a lesser extent Kenny de Haas, is going to encourage Anis Brakovic, as it is that's appears to be struggling.
Yeah, Brakovic has been dropped. Don't know what the neutral service was trying to do there, trying to help Brakovic a little bit there, but yeah, the front group of 7 riders broken up now. Brakovic being dropped, but the gap's still holding about 40 seconds now, with Barry and Merida now in control at the front. They just want to set a tempo to stop the attacks, because that's what they're expecting on this climb.
Peter Weening in green with the orange helmet, and number 83 sitting in the centre of shot, wearing the mountains classification jersey. Second overall, second in the mountains classification as well. The man from Team Rompot will look to tomorrow, I think, to challenge for the overall lead, held by Konstantin Siutso of the Bahrain Merida squad. And Siutso a little bit further up the line, I think, as Bahrain Merida will look to take command, and they've got their overall race leader sitting third in line.
Well, this is what they have to do. Boaro's at the front, Novak in second place. The race leader, Switzer, is sitting there in third, so they have to take control of this race. They're not too worried about the breakaway. They just want to show strength, show they're willing to kind of control this race and try and stop any attacks that may happen.
Well, Laurent Didier is absolutely emptying himself, desperate to try and get up this hill, at least ahead of the bunch. Just in front of him is this Besiktas that has gone on a charge. World Tour riders starting to gravitate towards the front, but these riders still indeed have actually found themselves in arrears from Ofsian and one or two others. Tonelli have gone raiding up front, hanging on, 38 seconds to the good. But Bahrain Merida setting the tempo. Well, the road is winding and twisting. That can only mean one thing. We've got some gradient winding our way around this climb. That will take the riders over the other side and back towards the finish line. The peloton behind now relentlessly mopping up the riders from the early breakaway group. Once upon a time we had 10 involved in it, and that came down by degrees to 8, to 7, to 6, and now we have a select group of 4 with some interlopers just likely to be dragged back by the Bahrain Merida led group as Tonelli goes on a charge. Ofsian looks to try and cover it. Kala and Boivin, we said, might have been dropped earlier on. He's anything but safely in there, but still just trying to hang on to Ofsian and Kala's great efforts to close down the man on the front at the moment. It's Alessandro Tonelli, the 25-year-old from Bardiani CSF. What a famous victory this would be. Yet to taste success as a pro. But Tonelli climbing well. Bardiani CSF, well, they could do with a decent result. Guardini has been sprinting well for them this week. Good second and ninth place finishes, but well, the stage win has eluded them thus far. And Tonelli looks fluid. The gap's stretched a bit. Now we're getting new information suggesting that it's up around about a minute. So if there is any action from the peloton behind, this could be good news for Tonelli.
I think the situation with Barry Merida, they have to set a tempo just to kind of take control of things. They're not worried about this breakaway at all. They just don't want to be attacked. They don't want to kind of open anything up today. It's all about control, showing the rest of the race that they're here to win this race. They've got an 8-second advantage over Peter Winning, and you know, they're in control. But what they don't want to do is set a harder tempo to drop the likes of Bonifacio, because they're in with an opportunity of another stage win. So they can allow this to go out to you know, a minute, because there's 21.5 kilometers to go when we hit the top of this climb, so they can afford to let it go, because if they don't want to kind of burn too many matches, Barry and Merida, because although they've got a sprinter, they've got the overall contender for this race, and that comes first and foremost. It's up to the other teams, and if Barry and Merida know that if we come over the top of the climb, 21.5 kilometers go to the finish, the breakaway, or what's left of the breakaway, only have about a minute. They're just kind of inside. You can see them down the road. Then that will entice some of the other teams to come up to the front and you know, help them ride in towards the finish for that predicted sprint finish. So all Barry and Merida are doing is trying to keep it within a distance to help, you know, when we go over the top of this climb, the other teams will come to the front and help them chase, and they're not having to chase for the final kind of 21.5 kilometers on their own to try and you know, win another stage with Bonifacio. So they want to keep it about a minute at the top of this climb, which will entice other teams to get involved with the chase, which is going to help Barry and Merida as well.
Yeah, Barry and Merida need to think about the stages to come. Tomorrow's going to be a really tough effort, so as much energy as they can save for that. Yeah.
Exactly, but the thing is, they have to set a tempo. They have to set a strong enough tempo, because with Caja Rural riding and Gazprom riding into this, I'd like to know where Grosso is. I think Grosso will still be there. He can climb well enough, and Nipo Vini Fantini have been riding today as well. But with the fact that Caja Rural and Gazprom are riding, we're expecting to see some action on this climb, but that's been nullified by Barry and Merida at the moment with Boaro. You can see Boaro, full concentration. They are not taking this easy. They're riding hard enough to control this breakaway. They don't have to bring it back, because Tonelli started the day at 10 minutes and 22 seconds. So no problems whatsoever in the overall, but they want to try and keep it within about a minute, so that when we come over the top of the climb, the likes of Astana may come to the front. You know, Bardiani won't, but Nipo Vini Fantini will come to the front and may try and chase and help the chase to bring it down, and Bonifacio could be in with another stage win. So it's in the balance at the moment, but still a long way to go for our race leader Tonelli, who's just about to top the climb.
He's going to take the climbing points. That's of less consideration to him. But tell you what, it's a terrific ride, because on this climb he stretched his advantage over the peloton. The peloton is being led by Barry and Merida at a fairly impressive clip, such that they've put, as you mentioned, Caja Rural back in their box. They've neutralized any potential attack. To do that, you've got to ride up the hill pretty quick. Plenty of riders have gone out the back. Tonelli is actually going clear now. They've paired a few seconds off that gap as he crests the rise and heads for home, but well, 21.3 kilometers, a long way to go with just a minute of an advantage. But for all that, very, very impressive riding from Alessandro Tonelli. It's a decent effort from Boaro and the Bahrain Merida squad as they grimace and grind their way to the top, and look at the effort that they're causing and the pain that and suffering that they're causing among the group behind, because it's getting the attention of Sciuzzo and of Weening behind. They certainly are having to make an effort just to follow in the wheel. They're safely in there, but this is it's definitely a solid effort by Bahrain Merida, and no sign of Caja Rural.
But just in fourth place there, you can see the sprinter Bonifacio. So Bonifacio is there, so they're in a happy situation. They're coming over the top of the climb within a minute, and I think that was what's the kind of predicted kind of time. If they can get over the top within a minute, Tonelli, Olsen of CSC is just behind, and he's at 14 minutes and 42 seconds. Kala, the Colombian rider, at 9 minutes and 52 seconds. So the race situation is Tonelli is in front, 2 riders behind. No real danger in the overall for Barry Merida, but they want to keep it within a minute. And over the top of this climb, 21 kilometers to go, and I think they want some help from some of the other sprinters teams, i.e. the likes of Astana and especially Nipo Vini Fantini.
Well, it's Barry Merida still setting the tempos. A few relieved riders But that one is out of the way, not least Ruslan Tlubayev, the rider in blue for the Astana squad, who makes it over the top of the climb in the final position. There's confirmation. Tonelli ahead of Ovsian and Kala of the Colombian squad that get the points. Points make prizes. Still 57 seconds for Tonelli. He's going to cling on for as long as he possibly can. Brave effort.